So hello everyone, welcome back. Let's continue our discussion all about partial fraction. So we already have discussed the first two cases, no? Dito na tayo sa sa third and fourth cases. So what is the case number 3? So this is a fraction of which the denominator contains quadratic factors, none of which are repeated. So if a quadratic factor ax squared plus bx plus c occurs once as a factor of the denominator of the given fraction, then corresponding to this factor, associate a partial fraction ax plus b all over ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, where a and b are constants which are not both zero. A may be zero as long as b is not, or b may be zero as long as a is not. Now, note that it is assumed that ax squared plus bx plus c cannot be factored anymore, no, into two real linear factors with integral coefficients. Ibig sabihin yan, this is a prime quadratic expression. This cannot be factored anymore into x minus something, no, times x minus another constant, no. Or if we are to calculate the roots of this denominator, the roots are either irrational or imaginary. If we are to equate that denominator equal to 0 and solving for x. So ganun yan. Dapat we must write that into this form. Ibig sabihin yan, the numerator must be at least or at most a linear expression. Okay? Pwede siya constant, no? Or pwede siya linear, no? Ax plus b. For example, ito, x squared minus 3 all over x minus 2 times x squared plus 4. So as we see, we cannot factor this any further, no? If naging minus pa ito, we could have factored that into x minus 2 times x plus 2, right? But since this is plus, no, x squared plus 4, if we are to equate it to 0, so x squared equal to negative 4. Square root of negative 4 is plus and minus 2i, no? Imaginary siya. So we cannot factor this any further. So its decomposition is a over x minus 2 plus bx plus c all over x squared plus 4. No, the numerator is linear, bx plus c. So b could be 0, no, but c should be a constant if so, no, and c could be 0, but b should not be 0 if ever c is 0. And another example is this. No, as we see, 2x squared plus 3x plus 8 cannot be factored any further. Well, for us to know that, we may try finding the roots, no, by using mode 5, then this quadratic equation, no, 2, 3, 8. We can have these roots, no, imaginary roots. So that means we cannot factor that any further. Ito then, if we are to try to check the roots of x squared plus x plus 1, these are the roots. They are imaginary. So we can't factor them any further. So writing it into its decomposition, magiging ganito. The numerators are a, then ito bx plus c, then ito dx plus e. Of course, a lang ito because the denominator is just x. Let's have an example. Okay. Say this is, I don't know, discuss muna tayo sa case number 4. For case number 4, this is similar to case number 2. No, like combination siya sa case number 3 and case number 2. So quadratic factors, some of which are repeated. That means this quadratic factor ax squared plus bx plus c occurs p times as a factor of the denominator of that given fraction. Then the corresponding factor associate the p number of partial fraction. Ito. Okay, similar siya sa case number 2. Of course, the numerator is still in the form of a linear expression, no, ax plus b. Okay, so dapat there are p fractions, no, and pwede these are both 0 dito, no, for x squared. Pwede rin ito yung 0. Pwede isa lang yung 0, no, pwede isa lang yung 0. So ganun yan. Okay. So where A, B, A1, B1, A2, B2, up to AP, BP are constant, and AP and BP are not both 0. Okay? For example, ito. This is a quadratic expression. It cannot be factored any further, and this is repeated twice, so this should be written into its decomposition: ax plus b over x squared plus 1, then plus cx plus d over x squared plus 1 quantity squared. Now let's have an example. Dito, solve the partial fraction decomposition of this rational expression. 7x to the fourth minus 3x cubed plus 35x squared plus 4x plus 19 all over x plus 1 times x squared minus 2x plus 3 times x squared plus 4. Okay, now let's solve that one. Let me rewrite it muna. So ito, let's solve this. Okay, so what is its solution? Now, as we can see, good thing now that this is already written in factored form. If it's not, that would be difficult, no? Honestly, difficult yan if this is expanded. Like this would be difficult if this is written in this form, no? Well, you've got to do yung um, rational zero theorem, no? But yun nga, you can only get one root, which is -1, and to factor that, you've got to do trial and error or solve for the roots and check ano yung pair. So this will be difficult. So anyway, dito na lang tayo. If we're to write this into its decomposition, the partial fraction that corresponds to this denominator x plus 1 is a over x plus 1. That is just constant sa numerator, no? Because this is linear. Now for this x squared minus 2x plus 3, x squared minus 2x plus 3, since this is a prime quadratic factor, to know that that is indeed prime, pwede natin i-check siya using this, no? Mode 5 3 or mode 5 down 1, no, in canon. So checking 1, -2, and 3, diba? The roots are imaginary, no? So that's why it must stay as it is, no? A quadratic factor, and the numerator is bx plus c. Okay, it could be that b is 0, no, but c should be a constant if ever. It could be that c is 0, but b must not be 0. Okay, ganun. Now, for this denominator x squared plus 4, x squared plus 4 cannot be factored any further. Now, do not make this x plus 2i, x minus 2i. Okay, imaginary man yun, no? Hindi pwede yan. So, as it is lang. And the numerator is dx plus e. Okay? So, there are 5 there are 5 variables. So how to solve these? Well, to solve them, do as what we did kanina, like doing cross multiplication, multiplying this right side by this denominator at the left. No? So, yung matira sa left side is ito na lang. No? And at the right side, that is equal to a times what? Diba? Ma-cancel yung x plus 1, so yung matira is ito. No? Okay? Then for bx plus c, so bx plus c, yung matira dito, ma-cancel yung x squared minus 2x plus 3. So matira is x plus 1 at saka x squared plus 4. Okay? And for the next, for the dx plus e, yung matira dito, if we are to multiply this by this denominator, makancel yung x squared plus 4. Ito yung matira, x plus 1 times x squared. Yan. Let me delete it. Parang yan. Okay? So, dx plus e times x plus 1 times x squared minus 2x. Nakuha ko na yung asong maingay. Hi! Hi everyone! Okay, so ano yung gagawin natin dito? Well, actually, pwede man natin makancel yung terms na ito. Yung terms na ito. This term that contains bx plus c and also this term that contains dx plus e. And that is by making x equal to -1, right? So let x be equal to -1. Okay. So when doing so, substitute natin. I-copy ko na lang ito. No? Making x equal to -1. So -1, -1, -1. Yan. Okay. Now, that is equal to this. Okay. Let me copy that. So making this, again, x equal to -1. -1. Ito din. -1. Plus ito, bx plus c. Now, again, we are to make x equal to -1, then times -1 plus 1. Now, so 0 yan, di ba? Times -1 squared plus 4. Well, actually, I may not proceed any further, no? Kasi, as you see, mag-0 man, no? Dito, that dx plus e, it is dx plus e, ma-0 din ito. Okay, so I may not proceed like dito na lang, kahit mag-stop na ako dito, no? So, solving for a, let me evaluate this muna. This left side will become 60, and dito naman, that will become 30. Ibig sabihin yan, this will become 60 is equal to a times 30. Okay? Plus yung bx plus c na maging 0, plus yung dx plus e maging 0 as well. So a is equal to 2. No, that comes from 60 over 30. Okay, so we already got the value of a. Now what shall we do next? How to get B, C, D, and E. In a board exam, there are times no na magbibigay siya ng ganito. Mahaba siya. Okay, but the question being asked is just the numerator of a linear denominator. Madali lang makuha yan. No? The same as what we did dito, as what you see. Madali lang to solve for A. Ang mahirap dito, honestly, is yung pag-solve ng B, C, D, and E. These other variables. Now, how to do it? Well, ganito. Remember, in my previous video, I discussed that we may just equate the same terms. No, the quadratic term dito is equal to the quadratic term dito if this is being expanded. The linear is equal to linear. The constant is equal to constant, the left and right. So, ang cubic din dito is equal to the cubic dito. And quadratic must also be, the fourth degree, the coefficient of the fourth degree must equal to the coefficient of the fourth degree as well here. Okay? And that's what we're going to use no, in solving for the other values or the other variables. Okay, so let's evaluate that. Dito, let me copy this muna. Okay, and I'm gonna make this a equal to 2 already. Okay, that is already 2. So let's focus on the constant. I mean the quadratic, the quartic, no, the fourth degree. That is 7 at the left. How about at the right? At the right, where can we get that x to the fourth? So as we see, if i-multiply natin to x squared times x squared, that's x to the fourth. So that is 2x to the fourth, right? So 7 is equal to 2 plus something. We're not yet done, of course, no? Dito, bx, each term ha, bx times x squared. That is x to the fourth, no? So this is plus b. Bx times x squared is bx to the fourth. So 7 is equal to 2 plus b so far, no? But hindi pa tayo tapos. We can see dito, dx times x squared. So that will become dx to the fourth, no? So that's also a quartic term. So d. So this 7 must equal to 2 plus b plus d. Or we can simplify that to b plus d is equal to 5. Okay, that's the first equation. First equation. Okay. Next, focus naman tayo sa cubic a sub 3 x cubed. Okay, the cubic at the left is -3. How about the right? Where can we get that cubic? Ganito yan, no? X squared, i-multiply natin dito. There is no x dito to make it x cubed. So, we cannot get it there, no? How about dito? 2 times -2x times x squared. So that's x to the fourth, no? -4x to the fourth. Okay? Or you may expand that if you like to, and its expansion has -4x cubed, no? So -4x cubed. No. Let me remove that x cubed. Okay? -4. But we're not yet done. Dito sa second term, where can we get an x cubed dito? Px times x squared na yan. Times x to the fourth, hindi x squared, hindi pwede, maging x to the fourth. Times 4, maging x squared lang. So, kulang. Pero ito, bx times 1 times x squared. See? Bx times 1 times x squared. That's bx cubed. So, there is b dito. Okay? Then next, yan lang ba? O maybe meron pa. Ito, c times x squared. That is cubic. No? So, that is cx cubed. So, meron pa itong plus c. Okay? We're not yet done. Plus, dito naman, we have to get an x cubed dito. If you like to, pwede mo yan expand. Medyo mahirap ito. No? In expanding, pwede lang inspection, no? Pero ang expansion nito, medyo mahaba, mahirap. Assuming that b and c has no values, wait muna. So, ganun, as you see. Okay, yung x cube, b, ito din, c, no? Then, dito naman, dito, again, the mission is to get x squared, x cube. So, dx times x times -2x. No, that is -2dx cubed. So, minus 2d. Meron itong minus 2d. Okay? Saan pa? How about this? dx times 1 times x squared. That is still x cubed. No, dx cubed. No, so, plus d. Okay? Yan lang ba? Dx times x times -2x. We're done with that. Dx times 1 times x squared. How about this? E times x squared. That is cubic. No, plus e. Medyo hassle siya, no? But ito talaga yung operation niya. Another. E times 1. Wala na. Wala nang other cubic. Well, if we are to expand this, let us check, no? If tama ba yung ano natin? Kuha natin. We need the x cubed. Negative dx cubed. Well, of course, no, because if we are to simplify this, negative d na lang ito. Negative 2d plus d. So, x cubed and another, this plus e. Right? Wala na. No, yun lang. Negative d plus e. So, ito yung second equation natin. Second equation. Okay. Now, sa quadratic naman tayo. A sub 2x squared. So, for the quadratic, it's 35 at the left. And, ano yung gagawin? At the right. Where can we get that x squared? So, examine tayo dito. 2 times x squared, that's already x squared. Constant na yung kulang. Times 4. So, that's 8. No? 8x squared. But we're not yet done. Dito, 2 times negative 2x, that's negative 4x already, times, wala. No, if i-combine natin yung 2, negative 2, it can't become quadratic. But dito, 2 times 3 times x squared. No? I'm doing dito distribution. So that is 6x squared. So plus 6. Okay? Or that is a total of 8 plus 6, 14. Is that correct? As you see, the expansion of this is this, 14x squared. Okay? Now, plus, assuming that we can't expand it, no, assuming we're just doing mata-mata, di ba? In Bisaya, mata-mata, no? Inspect lang natin. So, x squared, how can we get that x squared dito? Bx times x squared na yan, times constant, so plus 4b. Okay? Plus 4b. Another, bx times 1 times x squared. Cubic yan. Tapos na yung b. Cx times x squared. So maging cube. C times 1 times x squared. That is a quadratic. No, c plus cx squared or plus c. If we are to check its expansion, yung quadratic dito is plus 4bx squared and also plus cx squared. So tama nga, di ba? Kita niyo yung arrow na yan? Okay? So that is the third equation. Well, are we done? Wala, hindi pa pala. Sorry. Dito, dx times x, quadratic na yan. Dx squared na yan, times constant. So plus 3d. Plus 3d. Another. Dx times 1, how to make it quadratic? Dx times 1 times negative 2x. So that's minus 2d. 2dx. Okay? Now again, that negative 2d comes from dx times 1 times negative 2x. That becomes quadratic. Next, I think we're done with the d. No? Dito naman, e times x times negative 2x. Again, we have to have a quadratic. So e times x times negative 2x. So that's negative 2e. Minus 2e. Okay? Are we done? Let's try. Okay, let's check. E times 1 times x squared. So plus e pa ito. No? Plus e. And I think we're done. No, with the quadratic. E, basta isa-isahin mo yan eh. Each factor, dapat merong one representative. No? Sa each factor. Multiply mo. So simplifying this, pwede natin ito ma-combine, making this just d, and ito naman just minus e. Negative 2e plus e. So let's find out yung quadratic dito. Okay, the expansion nito, quadratic d at saka negative e. Tama nga, no? D x squared minus e x squared. Okay, so this is the third equation. Haba ng solution, no? Sige lang. Now, next, a sub 1 x, that means linear na tayo, no? So in the left, at the left, that is 4. At the right, we have to get that linear. So how to get that? Again, each factor must have a representative. 2 times, imposible na ito, 2 times negative 2x, that's already a linear. Negative 4x times 4, now 16. So that is for 2, negative 2, and 4. Now, we're not yet done. 2 times 3 times wala na, no? So that is already that's the only linear in that. So as we see, that's dito. Okay, negative pala yan. I forgot the negative. Okay, of course, no? So, next, dito tayo sa second. So we have to have a linear. So bx times 1 times 4. That's 4b. Okay, plus 4b ito. Another. B, now we're done with that. C times x times 4. So that's linear. Plus 4c. Okay, let's check. Dito, yung linear dito, wait muna. Ito, 4b at saka 4c. See? Ganun yan. Now, dito naman, dx times 1 times 3. So, dapat constants na lang dito. So, that linear siya. So, plus 3d. No, plus 3d. Okay? Next, dx times 1. Tapos naman tayo sa dx times 1 times 3. dx times tapos na, no? Linear dapat. Dito na, e na tayo. E times x times negative 2x. So that is negative 2ex. Minus 2e. But hindi pa tapos. E times 1 times negative 2x. So minus 2e again. Kanina, e times x. I made a mistake. No? E times x times 3 pala. So plus 3 pala ito. Plus 3. E. Dapat linear. Next, e times 1 times negative 2x. So ito, minus 2e. So minus 2e. So simplifying this, 3e minus 2e is e. So let's check dito. Yung linear dito. See? That is the only linear. 3d at saka plus e. 3d plus e. So this is the fourth equation. And actually, these are enough, no? Kasi there are only 4 unknowns, remaining 4 unknowns. Okay? So pwede na natin i-solve yung unknowns, no? But pwede mag-proceed pa tayo, no? Focusing on the constant. So sa constant, a sub 0, dito that's 19 at the left. How about at the right? So, madali na lang ito, no? 2 times 3 times 4. That is equal to what? This is 12 times 2, 24. Dito rin, no? Makita natin yan. Dito, to have the constant, c times 1 times 4. So, 4c. Wala nang b. Kasi, obviously, b has x man. Next, e times 1 times 3. So, plus 3e. No? Plus 3e. So, yan yung constant. We can check that here, no? 4c at saka 3e. The expansions nila. But I'm gonna remove this now, no? So this is the fifth equation. But again, we do not really need this fifth, no? But okay lang to get, no? Now, how to solve for the unknowns? I-arrange ko ito, ha? The first equation was this one. The second equation may be rewritten as b plus c minus d plus e equal to what? Negative 3 plus 4. Maging plus yan. So this is plus 1. That's the second equation. Next, the third from the third equation. Simplifying this, 4b plus c plus d minus e. And that is equal to what? 35 minus 14. Isn't it 21? It's 21, right? 35 minus 14. It's 21. And the fourth one, the fourth equation, may be simplified as 4b plus 4c plus 3d plus e. And that is equal to 4 plus 16. This is 20. Okay, that is the fourth equation. Now, in the calculator, we are to make b as x, c as y, d as, no, b as w, c as x, d as y, and e as z. So this is w plus y plus x, sorry, minus y plus z equal to 1. Ito yung mga gagamitin natin in evaluating the variables. For b is for w plus x plus y minus z equal to 21. And last, ito, 4w plus 4x plus 3y plus z equal to 20. Or pwede, dito, now if we're to simplify that, that's 4, diba c is x. 4x and e is z. Now plus 3z is equal to 19 minus 24, negative 5. This is the fifth. No, but we may just use this. Ito yung gagamitin natin, ha? Ito. Sa calculator. So, mode 5. Then 4 unknowns. That's a good thing nitong canon. Now, it can evaluate up to 4 equations for unknowns. So, A is the coefficient of W. So, that is 1. B, coefficient of X, 0. C, coefficient of Y, it's 1. D, coefficient of Z, has none. 0 lang yan. Then E is 5. Okay. I hope I did not make any mistake, no? So dito naman, 1, 1, negative 1, 1, equal to 1. Okay. Next, dito na ako. 4, 1, 1, negative 1 equal to 21. Okay. Next, dito na. 4, 4, 3, 1, 20. And I just hope I did not make any mistake. If whole numbers ito, then may be correct. W is 4. CW is 4. In this system, W is 4. Ibig sabihin yan, B is 4. No? B is 4. Since W is 4, then B is 4. 4 lagi. Next. X is 1. So this is C. That corresponds to C. C is 1. Right? Next, D. D is also, Y, no, is 1. So that is the D. D is 1. Okay ba? It's also 1. And Z is negative 3. That corresponds to E in our variables negative 3. Okay. So, ibig sabihin ito, diba, take note, A is equal to 2. A is equal to 2. Ibig sabihin yan, if we are to write this into its partial fraction decomposition, ito. Oops. This partial fraction is 2 over x plus 1 plus 4x plus 1, okay, plus 1x or simply x minus 3. Okay? Now, for us to find out that these are correct, again, this is just identity, no? The composition of this is this. The expansion of this, if combined, is this. Okay, ganun yan. No? And if we are to assume any value of x, as long as hindi siya root of the denominator, dapat the same sila. Now, that's how we do the checking. Okay? Let's say x is 1. 1 is not a root. No, -1 man yung root nito. So using this, I got 3.1, or in fraction 31/10. Now I should get the same dito. No, if x is 1. So tama. No, so that proves that this is correct. If I'm gonna make this 2, 85/24 the same. If I'm gonna make this 100, the same. Okay? So this is the answer. Okay? So medyo mahirap. Now, I'm gonna give you examples and take a pause. Eto, try to solve that and take a pause. Okay? And solve it by your own. Sige, pause ha. Okay na? So let's find out if you got the correct answer. No? As if nag-pause ka talaga, as if nag-answer ka talaga. Titingnan na natin na I encourage you to do it talaga. Solve it talaga. To find out if you really got the principle. So, well, ganito yan. If you are to rewrite it into its partial fraction decomposition, ax plus b for this x squared plus x plus 1, then plus cx plus e, cx plus d, or you may make that any variable, okay? Over, sorry for that, sorry, cx plus d over x squared plus 9. X squared plus 9 is prime quadratic, no? It cannot be factored any further unless if that is minus 9. So, ganun. And to solve for this, do as what we did kanina, no? Ito yung magiging sagot. I'm gonna use the MathCAD's function. Ito yung magiging sagot. You would get A, no. Yeah, na-interchange lang dito. So you would get A if ito yung arrangement mo is equal to 1, B is equal to -7, as you see, and C equal to 2, and D equal to 3. Did you get that? I hope you did, right? Another. Ito, take a pause again and try to solve this. Okay? And I'm gonna show you the solution ha. I mean, the ano lang, it's decomposition lang in terms of the unknowns. So since there's an x, no, that's linear, so constant in numerator, a over x, right? Plus, I hope nag-pause kayo, nag-try kayo. Plus, dito as we see, it's repeating. So it's, case number 4. I did not do an example anymore in case 4, pero ganun lang yung mga operation, the same lang. Only this is x squared plus 4, no, sa denominator, and its numerator is a linear bx plus c, but it's not yet done. No, dapat meron pang other fraction, so the denominator is now squared of x squared plus 4, no, the same with the case number 2. And dito linear pa rin, dx plus e. So I want you to try it, okay? Do the same, multiply that, then gawin nyo yung ginawa natin, no? Equating the same terms. X squared equal to x squared, quadratic, linear, cubic to cubic. So ganun. Pwede mo makuha yung a dyan in terms, a dyan by making x equal to 0 after you have multiplied both sides by this. Okay? So ganun yan. Now, I'm gonna show you the exact answer to this. Ito. The partial fraction yan is ito, x over x squared plus 4. This is for x squared plus 4 plus 2 over x plus 1. Ibig sabihin nito, you would get a equal to 2, no? And also b equal to 1 and c equal to 0. Okay, that's what you would get. And d equal to 1 and e as well is equal to 1. Okay, so that's what you would get. A is equal to 2, b is equal to 1, that comes from dito, c is 0, d and e are both 1. Okay, that's what you would get. Okay ba? So, I hope learn kayo, no? So, see you sa next level, no? I hope na seryoso niyo yung review, no? And I hope meron talagang improvement. Okay? In the next level, I think I'll be jumping to analytic geometry. No, I won't explore muna the other algebra such as word problems. Mag-geometry, analytic geometry muna siguro ako. Okay, para ma-relate lang natin the graphing and the solving for the intersection, no, the solution to equations. Okay? So, see you next time. Goodbye and God bless.